This is Ryan Campground in Joshua Tree. Beautiful campground. And you can see all the sites have a picnic table, fire ring, and a little grill. They would be a little close together if it was full, but they'll be pretty spread out, I think. Beautiful. It's just more of being in the middle of the park, only we can put up a tent here. Gotta love it. That's Ryan Mountain. Tomorrow we'll climb up that. Maybe later tonight. We haven't decided yet. Nice sites. They're a little close together, but we're here in summer. There's practically no one here. No water. There's no water anywhere in the middle of the park. There are, of course, pit toilets. And there is recycling and garbage over here. Some of the garbage stations even have propane bottle recycling, which is wonderful. So they're really hard to get rid of. What a great campsite. Otherwise, $20 a night. You can reserve sites here, and then the unreserved sites are available for walk-ins. So in the summer, you don't really need a reservation. Ryan Mountain is right there. The trailhead to Ryan Mountain is like 3/4 of a mile that way. We did the hike last night. I'll make a video of that as well. And somewhere on the screen here, I'll throw up how many sites are in the campground. I think about 30 or 40. Joshua Tree has many campgrounds. This is just one of them, but here's a pretty good look at it. This one is a little more open. We just have these couple of big rocks. Some of the other campgrounds you're more surrounded by those rocks, but I like that we get very big views here, all in all directions. Nice tree that's keeping us shaded this morning. Sort of a juniper pinyon forest here, although I don't really see many pinions. Lots of junipers and Joshua trees all over the place. For most of the year, probably September to June even, you need reservations, and this campground will fill up all the time in the winter, far in advance. But in summer, we did make a reservation. It's middle of July. We made a reservation, but you didn't need to. And you can do walk-up. If something is available, you can take it. So in wintertime, maybe somebody cancels and you get it, but it's unlikely. In wintertime, you probably better have a reservation. Not too bad in summer, though. And it's really not that hot. It's only around 100. This morning, it's only like 70. I love it. Summertime, as you can see, I think there were 2 other campers in this whole campground, and that goes for all the other campgrounds in Joshua Tree. They're all about the same. So yeah, this one's real nice in summer. In winter, you might be a little close to your neighbors. Joshua Tree National Park is only a couple hours from Los Angeles, so this park fills up. You're going to want to reserve way in advance for the cool season. Some of the other campgrounds have a little more rocks in between you and the next campsite, but they're all beautiful. Any campground in Joshua Tree is going to be a winner. The one thing I do need to discuss with you all is the bees. I'm not sure how much of a problem they are in winter, and the park does have a really good solution, but we had a real issue here. There are bees all over the park. They're not very aggressive. They're not yellow jackets. And in most places, the park has put in these buckets, basically a 5-gallon bucket with some mesh and some water inside of it. And they put them near dumpsters or somewhere kind of hidden, and the bees all will congregate at those bee buckets. Well, what happened here was because the park is so empty and it was really windy, the buckets got knocked over and emptied. So now the bees are looking for campers. And us and the 2 or 3 other campers that were here were all chased out of the campground around 4 p.m. because the bees were swarming any water source we have. They were coming near anything white. It was really weird. They were just all over us. They don't sting or anything, but it was a lot, as you can see here. In the summer, they're not active in the hot part of the day, so the middle of the day, we're just sitting here, no problem. But as the afternoon progressed and it cooled off a little bit, more and more bees started coming to our little bits of water. Like we had this little collapsible bucket bag of water here, and it just was covered, and our cooler was being swarmed. And we all just, everyone here, the other campers as well, we all left at least until after sunset. After sunset, you come back and they're all gone. But come morning, it was the same thing. By like 8 o'clock in the morning, they're swarming us again, and you just have to leave until it gets hot. So the solution is to make sure those bee buckets, find them and fill them with water. Hopefully, it's already taken care of and it'll be a non-issue most of the year. But I figure I better warn you, because if we had known to seek out the bucket and just refill it with water, probably could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble, because the bees will just focus on those buckets if they have them. And they're very easy to identify. Big orange buckets right behind a dumpster. You know, you'll see them if you look for them. Like I said, should be a non-issue most of the time, but if you're here in the summer when there's very few other visitors, you know, the rangers don't always get the chance to check on these things, so, you know, you might have to deal with it yourself. I just figured I'd warn you, but don't let this scare you away from the campground, because like I said, most of the time, especially in the cool season, it's going to be a non-issue. And side note, they have these buckets at every picnic area, campground, every populated place that people stop all throughout the park, and they work very well everywhere that they are. As long as they are filled with water, they work. Basically, it's just a bucket of water that gives the bees some place to go and focus on, and since it'll have no people and nobody bothering them, they are much happier with the bee buckets than they are bothering us. All right, just wanted to make sure you had all the information necessary. And again, please don't let that scare you away from the campground. The main thing to think of is in the cool season, make sure you make your reservations far in advance, because you'll need them. Or come out here when it's warm. It's really not so bad when it's 100. And here are 31 sites, and there were only 2 or 3 other sites occupied this evening. It was wonderful. Okay, that's about all the information I have for you. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope this helps you decide on where to go and go out there and have a good time. Thanks for watching.